Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our webinar today. We're going to be going over a high-level overview of Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central, and we're going to be talking about the features that kind of make it an ideal solution for organizations that are growing past their basic accounting software and are looking for something that's a little bit more robust for their business. I want to thank everybody for taking time out of their busy schedule to join us today for this webinar, and I do encourage everybody to ask questions. Please feel free to submit them in your question panel in the GoToWebinar panel to your right, and we will try to get those answered as best we can in a Q&A session at the end. And of course, if we can't get those answered today, we will certainly follow up with something more specific to help you out, or if you think of something after this webinar, you will have our contact information as well, so please feel free to reach out to us. My name is Brad Vorbeck. I work in marketing here at Turnkey Technologies, and I've got Jeremy Bourland with me today, who is one of our Dynamics 365 sales executives. And I just want to share a little bit about Turnkey Technologies before we dive in here. We've been in business for 25 years. We were founded in 1994. We are headquartered in St. Louis, Missouri, and we are a Microsoft Gold partner, and our primary goal is to help our clients maximize the results of their Microsoft business solutions, be it Microsoft Dynamics 365, Dynamics GP, Office 365, Power BI, and CRM solutions as well. So we've got 50 plus employees in our company, 3 offices. Our headquarters is in St. Louis. Like I said, we've got an office in Chicago as well as Denver. And we provide comprehensive services to the solutions we provide, so that includes everything from requirements planning to implementation to support, education, and ongoing enhancements. So I do also want to make everybody aware that we've got we offer ongoing consultations if you're looking at Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central for your organization. In as little as 1 hour, we can help you validate that for your long-term and short-term goals. So we will have a link to that at the end where you can register for one of those. And again, it's no obligation, no charge, and it's just a way for you to quickly simplify your research and sort of get headed in the right direction for your ERP software research. And also this webinar is going to be recorded, so we'll send that out tomorrow in our follow-up email as well as the PowerPoints. And again, feel free to ask any questions. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Jeremy.
Well, good morning, everyone. As Brad said, my name is Jeremy Bourland, and I'm one of the Dynamics sales executives with Turnkey Technologies. So first of all, thanks for joining the webinar this morning. And as Brad indicated, we're going to spend some time doing a high-level overview of Dynamics 365 Business Central, what it could potentially do for your business, and kind of learn how it might be a fit, and hopefully kind of drive some additional conversation. I always like to start with this slide because for those of you that are listening to the webinar now, you might be challenged with some of these key issues that you're seeing on the screen. As one of the sales executives here at Turnkey, I'm often engaged with prospects and customers kind of discussing what their current challenges are and how we might be able to address those. And there's definitely some common themes that keep recurring, especially when folks and teams are looking to modernize their systems or take the information to the next level. One of the biggest things I hear a lot is lack of sufficient reporting analytics. Of course, business owners and managers need that day-to-day detail to understand how the business is performing. And when you've got multiple systems that are all consolidated or all disparate from each other, it can be very difficult to get a single source of information where all the information can be displayed at once. Same thing kind of goes for duplicate data and manual processes. So many of you might be in a situation today where you're running multiple applications. You've got people that might be rekeying data into multiple systems at the same time. Obviously, this can create some security issues as well as human error if you're having to enter it in multiple spots and multiple locations. And those manual processes really just open up the opportunity for mistakes to be made. So it would be really nice if you could have a single consolidated solution where all of your information was in a single source. You could actually get online, real-time, at your fingertip reporting analytics to see how the business was performing, and managed by exceptions as well. So if there are parts of the business that weren't doing great, wouldn't it be nice to have a single source of data where I could see those areas that actually required my attention? So these are some of the key features and kind of issues that I often encounter when working with prospects and customers on some of their challenges of their current accounting or ERP application that they're using today. A little background about Dynamics 365 Business Central. I always find this is a little interesting to talk about because sometimes people aren't really sure where Business Central came from, if it's a new product, if it's so, how long has it been out. Uh, Dynamics 365 Business Central was actually built on the code base of a previous product that Microsoft has called Navision or NAV. So sometimes you'll hear Dynamics 365 Business Central called NAV for the cloud or NAV for software as a service. There were some marketing changes from the Microsoft side as well, and as early as a couple years ago, the product was actually called Dynamics 365 for Finance and Operations Business Edition, which, as you can kind of hear me stumble through, right, is a huge mouthful. So now they've rebranded it as Dynamics 365 Business Central. The reason why I bring this up is because it is built on over 31 years of heritage, a really strong, robust code base. So it's not a brand new software. Microsoft basically leveraged the features and functions that NAV was so well known for and leveraged it into a new software to position it for customers that were looking for a cloud-based solution. NAV had over 160,000 customers worldwide, over 2.7 million users, so it definitely has a lot of heritage and usage across the world. The other thing that really occurred with Dynamics 365 Business Central as well was being able to take that key code base from NAV, but also expanding on the functionality as well. So we talked a little bit about including warehousing, manufacturing, as well as service management. So those are additional components that were included as part of the Dynamics 365 Business Central solution. One of the things we're going to talk about later on during the webinar this morning as well is the pricing. I think you'll find that Business Central really is an affordable cloud-based solution, especially for those of you that might have been looking around at some of the applications that are currently out there in the market today. So we'll spend some time later on kind of going through some of the pricing options as well as talking about how those subscription services are actually based. So from a technology perspective, Dynamics 365 Business Central sits properly in the Microsoft technology stack. You'll see over here within Business Central itself, it really features everything all the way from financial management all the way to the back end of operations and project management. But you're also able to leverage the power of Microsoft technology across the board. So imagine being able to create a quote or look up information from an invoice directly from within your email or your Office 365. Because it's part of the Microsoft technology stack, you have direct and seamless integration between Office 365 as well as Power BI, Azure, but you can also expand the functionality as well. So there's additional products within the Microsoft Dynamics world, including Dynamics 365 for sales, field service, marketing. All these things being part of the Microsoft technology stack allows you to not only use the functionality inherent in Business Central, but also expand that use as your business grows or you need to add on additional features and functions. So for those of you that are currently using Office 365 today, this is a great solution to migrate to be able to leverage the integration. One of the benefits from an affordability perspective is there's actually two tiers of subscription service offered through Business Central. There's what we call the Essentials license versus a Premium license. The reason I like to bring that up on this slide is because all the features and functions you see listed here on this screen, with the exception of service management as well as manufacturing capacity, are included in the Business Central Essentials license. So for one price, you're able to take advantage of all the features and functions that you see above, and just for a slightly higher charge, you can actually plug in the advanced service order management as well as manufacturing capabilities into BC. So it really is a robust ERP application, much more than just an accounting or financial management system. It can actually manage your sales and service, your supply chain, manufacturing operations, all the way through to advanced reporting and analytics as part of the core capabilities. One of the things that Microsoft has done as well in the market has to engage with third parties that offer industry-specific applications. So we just talked about the robust features and functions and the power of the core Business Central application. But for those of you that might be in a specific industry or there's a specific area of functionality that requires additional add-ons, if you will. There is something called Microsoft App Source. If you go out onto any internet connection and just type in Microsoft App Source, it'll pull up a list of over 1,000 applications that can be plugged directly into Dynamics 365 for Business Central. These might be things that are specific to the industry, credit card processing, advanced bank reconciliation, inventory management, shop floor management. There's over 1,500 applications that are designed to plug in directly with the Business Central application to really extend the functionality if there's additional needs that you may have that are beyond what's part of the core application. The other great thing, because it's part of the Microsoft technology stack, you're also able to connect to other data sources and services outside of the application. This includes using things like Power Apps, Microsoft Flow, as well as Excel files, SharePoint, and even interconnecting with CRM records that might be out there. One of the challenges we talked about at the beginning of the session this morning was the manual processes and folks having to enter in data into multiple systems and rely on in keying that data into the applications. Within Business Central, we have a tool to create workflows to help solidify those security processes. So you want to take those business processes and be able to automate them. You want to be able to create easy to use workflows. Let's say certain transactions require approvals by management. Maybe certain transactions require that those documents be routed to certain individuals within the team. Maybe there are specific reports. But the most important thing with any workflow is the ability to go back and make sure that we're being compliant from our security processes, as well as making sure we have audit trails so we can easily track those transactions back to who did what process, who approved what process, and where does that process currently stand within the flow. Another key indicator is being able to have a single source of information at your fingertips to see how your business is currently performing. So when you log on to Dynamics 365 Business Central, you're immediately presented with the main dashboard, which I threw in a screenshot here for you all to see, where we can actually be presented with data. It could be represented a variety of ways, either via what we call live tiles. It could be pie charts, graphics, even integrated Power BI reports that could tell you real-time how your business is actually performing. One thing I always like to point out on the screenshot here is you'll see that some of these tiles have a color on the top. That's what we talked about, the management with exception. So the ones with the green are telling me these are indicators of my business that are performing well. The red tile is telling me there's some overdue purchases, overdue invoices that require my attention. And if I were to click into these tiles, it would actually drill down into the detailed information behind there to actually show me what's going on. These tiles, by the way, and all the graphs and all the reports are customizable based upon your business, and we can define the minimum and maximum parameters that would cause those green or red indicators to be triggered to let you as the business owner or let your management know that something requires your attention. But really having a centralized view, a centralized source of data from not only accounting, but also from sales and purchasing, and understand exactly where your business is and what you need to do is very helpful and very essential, especially in today's digital age. Again, we hit a little bit on the advanced analytics. So beyond the real-time dashboard and being able to see real-time data, you'll see on the screenshot here, there's actually a section of my screen where we've incorporated Power BI reports. So although Business Central comes with a robust set of reporting capabilities as part of the core application, you also have the ability to integrate directly with Power BI to import those custom reports directly into your dashboard. This gives you a deeper insight into the analytics, but also allows you to do ad hoc reporting, be able to analyze data real time across multiple dimensions as well as across multiple companies, if you have multiple companies within your current setup, as well as be able to really kind of get a view of how the overall business is performing. One of the challenges that many companies deal with when they're looking to upgrade or move to a new ERP system is the challenge of the implementation. How much is it going to cost, right? How much time is it going to take for me to go live? Am I going to have to pull people off of my production line or the current business processes to be able to implement? So Dynamics 365 Business Central is a great tool because there's a lot of features that really focus on easy to implement. So there are data migration wizards that are actually built into the tool that allow you to easily migrate data from your legacy financial management application or ERP system. One of the examples I use a lot is QuickBooks. So, Business Central actually has a tool where you can actually upload your data files directly from QuickBooks into Business Central. It's as easy as that. Also, being able to handle your business processes like, quotes, orders, invoicing, purchasing quickly and easily from day one. The intuitive nature of Business Central allows for you to be able to log on and quickly be able to see where your data has been migrated to and how you can configure it to start moving those business processes forward. And the best thing about having these imports and the ease of use is really little impact to your day-to-day workflow. For those folks that might be involved in the migration, these tools provide them with the opportunity to get their system up and running quickly without being bogged down, if you will, with a lot of implementation duties. Along those lines of ease of migration and implementation, I feel is really the adaptability and the user interaction with Dynamics 365 Business Central. I'm sure all of us have used a system in the past that was complicated or hard to understand that required in-depth training or understanding to figure out how to do the most basic of transactions. One of the great things I think with Dynamics 365 Business Central is Microsoft has incorporated the look and feel of Office 365. You can actually see on my screenshot here even the ability to edit these posts or these posted sales invoices in Excel. So if you're familiar with Microsoft products today, which I think most people probably are, or you've used Office 365 in the past, what you'll find is that the navigation and usability of Business Central is going to be very comfortable and very easy for you to use for anybody that's really used any sort of Microsoft technology in the past. So that actually reduces the training time and also increases the time it can take to get you up and live and running quickly. The other thing that you would see with Business Central is the ability to customize your roles. You could actually have role-specific views. So Dynamics 365 Business Central is a true multi-company application. So perhaps you've got some individuals that only need to work with certain financial data for specific companies. There are very easy ways to make those views role-specific, as well as personalizing feeds and notifications that would get pushed to those in particular, those particular users. Again, kind of going back to that recurring theme of the look and feel of Office 365, as well as the integration of Business Central with the Microsoft technology stack. At the beginning of the session, we talked about what it must be like to be able to go into your inbox and actually create a quote, process an order, answer questions about invoices, all without having to leave Microsoft Outlook. With Dynamics 365 Business Central and the integration with the Office 365 Cloud, all this stuff is possible. So there's actually an add-in for Outlook that has artificial intelligence built in. So when you get an email from a specific customer about a specific invoice or about a specific item, the Dynamics 365 add-in is able to recognize that customer and invoice data and pull up on a separate window from within your Outlook Exchange all the information that you would need. So you literally have the ability to read, write, and update, whether it's quotes, invoices, sales orders, or purchase orders directly from within Microsoft Outlook or Microsoft Exchange. But at the same time, of course, these records are being updated on the back end in Dynamics 365 Business Central as well. The other great way to leverage this is if anyone on the phone is looking at updating how their external documents are presented, whether those be quotes or letters or work orders, being part of the Microsoft technology stack, you can actually leverage Microsoft Word and other Microsoft tools to create professional looking documents, quotes, invoices, anything that you might be sharing with your customers or sending to your customers via email, to be able to have that look and feel that can be customized to your business, obviously is a big win in my book. The other thing along kind of moving to a newer software and newer technology is the ability to take the Business Central with you on the go. So there is a app that can be downloaded on your phone, both iOS as well as Android, as well as Windows phones, of course. But you can actually deploy Dynamics 365 Business Central not only on your desktop, but on your laptop, on your tablet. And as long as you have a connection, it doesn't even necessarily have to be internet, right? As long as you have a data connection, you're able to get on and see exactly how my business is performing, which I think is very, very helpful. We touched a little bit on earlier about the various types of licensing that's currently offered under the Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central model. The two key components really here are the Essentials license as well as the Premium. We mentioned earlier that the Essentials gives you, I would say, probably 85% of the functionality that's contained within the application, where the Premium includes everything that Essentials has, but it also includes that additional service management as well as the manufacturing modules. From an affordability perspective, these users are priced on a per user per month basis. So you can see on the screen that the Essentials is priced out at $70 per user per month, where the Premium is $100 per user per month. But in addition, Microsoft actually offers a third type of user, which we call a team member. A team member might be someone who isn't using the system from a full business processing perspective, but they need to get onto the system to either read, approve, create work orders. They're touching key data elements within the application that they may need. So you can actually have a combination of full users versus team members, which are, those team members are priced out at $8 per user per month. Brad mentioned the engagement that we're offering as far as kind of looking at your business and whether Business Central might be a fit. And one of the things that we can definitely work with you on is help kind of arrive at maybe what combination of users is an appropriate fit for your organization, whether it be Essentials or Premium, and then perhaps what's the difference with your current staff of who might be a team member versus who would be considered a full user, to help you get some real kind of understanding from a budget perspective of where you might be from an implementation. So at the end of the day, obviously there's a lot of wins for considering Dynamics 365 Business Central. I think probably one of the biggest ones is obviously the affordability, to be able to really leverage a large series of features and functions from an ERP perspective at an affordable price point. Having a single source of data where all your business can be consolidated and you can get real-time online reports even while you're on the go of how the business is performing, and also having a reduced implementation time frame, having a system that you can migrate to quickly, leveraging those wizards and those data migration tools, but also something that's going to be easy to use and easy to adopt by your users to make them feel comfortable, and really kind of leveraging that look and feel of Microsoft applications, but also being able to take Business Central and integrate it with other Microsoft technologies, including your deployment of Office 365, as well as any other Microsoft technology that you might have deployed within your organizations today. So that is kind of the high-level overview of Dynamics 365 Business Central. I know we only have 30 minutes scheduled for this morning, so I wanted to leave a few minutes for questions here at the end. So let me know if I can be of assistance in any way.
Thank you, Jeremy. We'll go ahead and open the floor here for a Q&A. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to submit them at this time. We do have one question here, Jeremy, from John. He's asking, is it possible to create a Power App that could connect Business Central, that could connect to Business Central and perform an update to make it so a user just has to perform one task?
Yes. So basically there's really two options that I've seen customers really leverage. One is the Power Apps as well as Microsoft Flow, where you can definitely create custom integrations between third-party applications, especially if you have systems that are outside of the Business Central world. You can basically kick off a transaction in one system and have it feed other applications that are downstream. That's very possible, yes.
Okay, great. And of course, John, if you have any further questions about that, please feel free to reach out. We can certainly have a deeper conversation about that with our specialists as well. Also, we have another question here. Alex is asking, does this interface with AutoCAD?
So that's a great question. I don't know off the top of my head. I know that there are it's not part of the core application, but many softwares like AutoCAD will have an application designed to interface with Microsoft. I would need to go out and check Microsoft App Source because I would suspect there's probably an application out there that is designed to integrate AutoCAD with Business Central. That's a great question.
Okay. And Alex, if you have further questions about that or if there's any other way we can help, we'll also be following up in an email as well. So you'll have our contact information there. So if there's any other questions, please feel free to submit them. If not, Jeremy, was there anything else you wanted to add before we wrap up?
No, I think that's it. Other than, obviously Brad said if you have additional questions, please feel free to reach out if there's additional assistance that we can provide. And I know that at the beginning of the session, Brad had brought up the special offer that we have. It's a complimentary fit gap assessment, the no charge to kind of look at your business and validate your short and long-term goals, as well as whether Dynamics 365 Business Central would be a good fit. And I think Brad, you'll be sharing the deck as well as the presentation with everyone on the webinar, so they'll be able to access this link of the turnkeytech.com/fitgap if it's something that you or your organization is interested in moving forward with.